Captain Krall of the trading vessel. Star Wind had seen many strange things in his 40 years traveling the galaxy, but nothing prepared him for what his crew found floating in the wreckage of a small craft near the outer rim of the Vega system. The ship was crude by galactic standards, metal plates welded together with primitive tools. The power source was laughably simple, controlled fusion that most civilizations had abandoned centuries ago. But inside, barely alive in a makeshift life, support pod was something extraordinary. "Captain," called out his medical officer, Dr. Nira, "you need to see this." Krall hurried to the medical bay where the survivor lay unconscious on the treatment table. The being was unlike anything in the galactic database. Bipedal, with pale pink skin and strange fur only on the top of its head. No scales, no natural armor, no obvious defensive features at all. "What is it?" Krall asked. "Unknown species," Nira replied, checking her instruments. "But Captain, look at these readings. Its bone density is incredible. Muscle fiber density is off the charts. And this..." She pointed to the brain scan. "I've never seen neural activity patterns like this." The creature stirred, opening strange blue-colored optical organs. When it tried to sit up, 3 crew members couldn't hold it down. It spoke in a series of sounds they'd never heard before. "Easy," Krall said in standard galactic. "You're safe." To everyone's surprise, the being seemed to understand. It pointed to itself and made a sound. Tom. Over the next few days, Tom learned their language with frightening speed. Within a week, he was speaking in broken but understandable sentences. The crew learned that Tom's people were called humans and came from a world called Earth. "My ship broke," Tom explained during one meal. "Engine failed. Thought I would die." "Where were you going?" asked Krall. Tom's face grew dark. "Running. My world attacked. Big ships came from sky. My people fought, but..." He made a gesture of helplessness. Dr. Nira had been studying Tom's physiology. What she found amazed her. His bones were 4 times denser than any known species. His reflexes were faster than a Kithari warrior. His healing rate was phenomenal. A cut that should take days to heal closed in hours. "Tom," she said one day, "your people, are they all like you?" "Like me?" Tom asked. "Strong, fast, quick to heal?" Tom shrugged. "Normal human, nothing special." The crew exchanged glances. If this was a normal human, what were they capable of when pushed? As they traveled toward the galactic trade hub of Nexus Station, Tom told them about Earth, a world with crushing gravity that would kill most species, oceans of deadly acid that humans swam in for fun, weather so violent it could destroy entire cities, and the humans not only survived, and they thrived. "We adapt," Tom said simply when asked how they managed it. At Nexus Station, Tom caused quite a stir. Diplomats and scientists came from across the galaxy to study this new species. But Tom only wanted one thing: to get home. "Earth far away," he said. "Need fast ship. Strong ship." "Tom," Krall said gently, "if your world was attacked by the Dominion, there might be nothing left to go home to." Tom's eyes hardened. "Then I kill Dominion." The casual way he said it sent chills through everyone present. This wasn't bravado or empty threats. Tom spoke with the certainty of someone stating a simple fact. But the galaxy was vast, and Earth was lost somewhere in unexplored space. The bureaucrats at Nexus Station were sympathetic but unhelpful. They offered Tom citizenship, a comfortable life, anything except what he wanted most. That night, Krall found Tom staring out at the stars from the station's observation deck. "I find way home," Tom said quietly. "My people still alive." "I know." "How? Can you be sure?" Tom smiled, and for the first time, Krall saw something frightening in that expression. "Because if all humans dead, whoever killed them already be dead too. We not easy to kill." 3 days later, Tom was gone. He'd somehow acquired a ship. No one knew how, and disappeared into space. The station's security couldn't explain how. He'd bypassed their systems or where he'd gotten the vessel. Krall never expected to see the strange human again. In his mind, Tom was flying toward his death, chasing ghosts across the galaxy. He was very, very wrong. 2 years after Tom's disappearance, the galaxy learned what humanity truly meant. It started with reports from the Outer Rim, Dominion patrol, fleets going silent, supply convoys vanishing without distress calls. At first, the Galactic Council assumed it was pirates or system malfunctions. The Dominion was vast and powerful. Who would dare attack them directly? Captain Krall was delivering medical supplies to Outpost 7 when he got his answer. "Captain," his communications officer called out, "you need to hear this transmission." The message was in standard galactic, but the voice was unmistakably human. "This is Admiral Maya Thompson of the Earth Liberation Fleet. Dominion vessels in this system. You have 30 seconds to surrender or be destroyed." Krall's blood turned cold. Somehow, impossibly, Tom had found his way home. And he hadn't come back alone. The next transmission made the entire galaxy stop and listen. "People of the stars, this is Earth speaking. 2 years ago, you rescued one of our own. The being you knew as Tom has told us of your kindness. We do not forget such things, but we also do not forget who attacked our world." What followed was a broadcast that every communications array in the galaxy picked up. Images of Earth, a beautiful blue world still smoking from Dominion attacks. Cities in ruins, forests burned, oceans poisoned. But in those ruins, humans were rebuilding. "The Dominion thought one attack would break us," the voice continued. "They were wrong. We are humanity. We don't break, we adapt, we overcome, we survive." The images shifted to show something impossible. In just 2 years, humans had not only rebuilt their world, they had transformed it. Their technology had leaped forward by centuries. Ships that moved faster than anything in the galaxy. Weapons that could crack planets. Defenses that made their world untouchable. "But that's impossible," Dr. Nero whispered as they watched the broadcast aboard the Star Wind. "No species develops that quickly." "Unless," Krall said slowly, "they don't develop it. They take it." The broadcast continued for days. Humans had done more than rebuild. They had gone on the offensive. Every Dominion world, every fleet, every stronghold was under attack, and they were losing. The turning point came at the Battle of Kepler Station. The Dominion's greatest fortress, thought to be impregnable, fell in 6 hours. The humans didn't just win. They captured everything. Ships, technology, personnel, all of it. But what shocked the galaxy most wasn't the victory. It was what came next. Instead of executing prisoners or destroying captured worlds, the humans did something unprecedented. They healed them. Dominion slaves were freed and given new homes. Occupied worlds were liberated and their governments restored. Prisoners of war received medical care and fair treatment. The humans even began repairing environmental damage the Dominion had caused over decades. "This is Admiral Thompson again," came the broadcast 3 months later. "To all species of the galaxy, humanity extends its hand in friendship. The Dominion threat is ended. We offer trade, knowledge, and alliance to any who desire it. We ask for nothing in return, except the same respect and dignity we show you." But there was a darker message buried in the transmission. Crime syndicates that had worked with the Dominion found their operations destroyed overnight. Corrupt officials who had sold out their own people disappeared without a trace. Slave traders woke up to find their ships sabotaged and their captives freed. The message was clear. Humanity would be your greatest friend or your worst enemy. The choice was yours. At Nexus Station, diplomats scrambled to make contact with Earth. Trade delegations formed overnight. Scientists begged for access to human technology. Military commanders wanted to study human tactics. But Krall had a different idea. "Take us to Earth," he told his navigator. "Sir, Tom saved his people. But his people saved us all. I want to thank them properly." The journey to Earth took 3 weeks through the new hyperspace routes the humans had established. As they approached the system, Krall was amazed. Defense platforms that could destroy fleets, orbital cities that housed billions, and ships, so many ships that they darkened space itself. But Earth itself was beautiful again. The scars of war were gone, replaced by gleaming cities and restored natural wonders. When the Star Wind landed at the main spaceport, Tom himself was waiting for them. "Captain Krall," Tom said with a smile, "welcome to Earth." "Tom, what you've done. How did you manage all this?" Tom's expression grew serious. "I told them about the kindness you showed me, how you saved my life when you could have left me to die. Humans don't forget things like that. Ever." The meeting hall on Earth was unlike anything the galactic delegates had ever seen. Instead of the cold, sterile conference rooms common throughout space, this was warm and welcoming. Natural wood, flowing water, growing plants. It felt alive. Representatives from hundreds of worlds sat in comfortable chairs, many designed specifically for their unique anatomies. At the head of the room stood a human woman with graying hair and kind eyes, Admiral Thompson, though she now went by the title of Earth's first speaker. "Friends," she began, her voice carrying easily through the hall, "we gather today not as conquerors and conquered, but as equals. Humanity offers something the galaxy has never seen before: true partnership." Ambassador Vex of the Centauri Collective leaned forward. His people had been enslaved by the Dominion for 3 generations. "What do you want in return, humans? In my experience, no one gives freely without expecting something back." Thompson smiled. "We want what every parent wants for their children, a better future. The galaxy has been ruled by fear for too long. Fear of the Dominion, fear of each other, fear of tomorrow. We offer something different." She gestured, and the walls of the hall became transparent, showing Earth's rebuilt cities. "Look around you. 2 years ago, our world burned. Our people died. We had every reason to become bitter, to seek only revenge. Instead, we chose hope." Captain Krall stood up. "First speaker, my crew and I witnessed your capabilities. Your military power could conquer the entire galaxy in months. Why offer partnership instead of simply taking control?" "Because," Thompson replied, "power without purpose is just destruction. We didn't fight the Dominion to replace them. We fought them to free everyone, including ourselves." The next speaker surprised everyone. It was Warlord Grath, leader of the fierce Mordak clans. His people were legendary warriors who had fought the Dominion to a standstill for decades. "Humans," Grath growled, his voice like grinding stone. "My warriors studied your battles. You fight like demons when threatened, but show mercy to the defeated. This is not weakness, it is strength. The Mordak clans pledge alliance with Earth." One by one, other species stood and made similar declarations. The peaceful Altarians offered their advanced medical knowledge. The Rigel miners provided rare materials. The vegan traders opened new commercial routes, but not everyone was convinced. "This is madness," declared Supreme Chancellor Drex of the Core Worlds Confederation. "We're handing power to a species we knew nothing about 2 years ago. How do we know they won't become the next Dominion?" The hall fell silent. It was a fair question, and everyone waited to hear Thompson's answer. Instead of speaking, she activated a holographic display. It showed a Dominion prison world called Tartarus, a place where the worst criminals in the galaxy had been sent to die. 3 days ago, Thompson said, our forces liberated this world. We found 50,000 prisoners, murderers, terrorists, slavers, the worst beings the galaxy had produced. The Dominion had left them to starve when they retreated. The images showed the horrible conditions, beings barely alive, fighting over scraps of food, living in their own filth. My military advisors wanted to leave them there, Thompson continued. They said these beings deserved their fate, but that's not who we are. The display changed to show human medical teams treating the prisoners, clean facilities being built, food and medicine being distributed freely. Every species makes mistakes, Thompson said, even humans, but redemption should always be possible. These beings will be tried fairly for their crimes. Those guilty of the worst offenses will remain, imprisoned but in humane conditions. Others will be given chances to make amends. Chancellor Drek stared at the images in disbelief. You're treating your enemies better than the Dominion treated its allies. They're not our enemies, Thompson replied. They're sick, broken beings who need help. The Dominion's cruelty created many of these criminals. We won't perpetuate that cycle. Dr. Nira stood up. First speaker, I've studied human physiology. Your people are incredibly strong, fast, and adaptable. You could easily dominate any other species. Why don't you? Thompson's expression grew thoughtful. Doctor, what makes a being truly strong? Physical power? Advanced technology? Those are tools, Thompson said. True strength comes from choosing the hard path when the easy one would serve you better. It's helping others when you gain nothing from it. It's standing up for what's right even when you're afraid. She gestured to Tom, who had been sitting quietly in the audience. Tom could have stayed on your ship, Captain Krall, lived a comfortable life at Nexus Station. Instead, he chose to come home and fight for his people. That's human strength. The strength to do what's right no matter the cost. The vote was unanimous. The Galactic Alliance was born that day, with humanity as its founding members but not its rulers. Instead, they became something more valuable, its guardians. The true test of humanity's commitment came 6 months after the Alliance was formed. It arrived in the form of a desperate message from the edge of known space. This is Research Station Alpha 7. The transmission crackled with interference. We're under attack by unknown forces. Repeat, unknown forces are destroying everything in the outer rim. They're not communicating. They're just killing everyone. Please, someone help us. The message cut off abruptly. Emergency sessions convened on every allied world. The attacks were systematic and brutal. Entire star systems going dark. No survivors. No negotiations, no demands. Just complete annihilation. At Earth's command center, Admiral Thompson studied the tactical displays with growing concern. Her military advisors surrounded the holographic table, their faces grim. The attack pattern is unlike anything we've seen, reported General Hayes, a scarred veteran of the Dominion Wars. They're not conquering, they're cleansing. Every world they hit is sterilized completely. Any idea who they are? Thompson asked. Negative. Long-range scouts report massive ships of unknown design, energy signatures we can't identify, and they're heading directly for Alliance space. Captain Krall, now serving as a liaison officer, stepped forward. First speaker, my people have legends about this. Ancient stories told by the oldest races. They speak of the Devourers, beings from outside our galaxy who consume everything in their path. Myths and legends, scoffed General Hayes. We need facts, not bedtime stories. With respect, General, Krall replied. 2 years ago, humans were myths to most of the galaxy. Now we're all here because of them. Thompson held up a hand for silence. Captain, tell us about these legends. The stories say the Devourers appear every few million years, Krall explained. They strip entire galaxies of life, then move on to the next one. Nothing stops them. Nothing survives them. The room fell quiet. Finally, Dr. Nira, who was now serving as Earth's chief science advisor, spoke up. Our long-range sensors confirm it. The attacking force is massive. Thousands of ships, each one larger than anything we've built. If they reach populated space, she didn't need to finish. Everyone understood. How long do we have? Thompson asked. At their current speed, 6 months until they reach the outer allied worlds, 12 months until they reach Earth. Thompson closed her eyes briefly, then straightened. Send a message to all Alliance members. Full mobilization. Every ship, every resource, every being capable of fighting. We make our stand at the Kronos system. First speaker, General Hayes said quietly. Our projections show we'll be outnumbered 1,000 to 1. This might be a fight we can't win. Maybe, Thompson replied. But we're not just fighting for victory. We're fighting for the right to exist. Sometimes that's enough. The next 6 months saw the largest military buildup in galactic history. Ships from 100 worlds converged on the Kronos system. The mighty Mordak war fleets flew alongside tiny Altarian medical ships. Centauri traders worked beside Vegan engineers to create supply lines spanning dozens of light years. But it was humanity that surprised everyone again. Instead of taking command as the Alliance's most powerful military force, they did something unexpected. They stepped back. "This isn't humanity's war," Thompson announced at the final strategy meeting. "This is everyone's war. We'll fight alongside you as equals, not as your commanders." Warlord Grath was chosen to lead the combined fleet. His tactical genius was legendary. But when the first Devourer scouts appeared at the edge of the system, it was a human ship that volunteered for the most dangerous mission. Tom, now commanding a fast attack vessel, transmitted his final message. "All ships, this is Recon 1. Going in for close surveillance. If I don't make it back, tell my people. Tell them I'm proud to die alongside such friends." His ship vanished into the sensor shadows between the outer planets. What Tom discovered there changed everything. "Command," his voice crackled over the comm. "You need to see this. The Devourers, they're not what we thought. They're not conquerors or destroyers. They're refugees." The transmission was filled with static, but his words were clear. "Their ships are ancient, damaged. They're running from something else. Something that destroyed their galaxy. They attack us because they're desperate, terrified. They see any other life as a threat to their survival." "Tom," Thompson's voice came through the speakers. "Can you communicate with them?" "I'm trying. They're scared, but they're not mindless. There might be a way to." The transmission cut off as energy readings spiked throughout the system. The main Devourer fleet had arrived, and they were preparing to attack. The largest battle in galactic history was about to begin. The Battle of Kronos lasted 3 days and changed the galaxy forever. On the first day, the Alliance fleet engaged the Devourers in traditional combat. The results were catastrophic. Despite their combined strength, the alien ship's technology was beyond anything they had faced. Whole squadrons vanished under weapons that seemed to tear space itself apart. By the end of the first day, half the Alliance fleet was destroyed or disabled. The survivors regrouped behind the system's largest moon, preparing for what seemed like their final stand. That's when humanity did what they did best. They adapted. "Admiral Thompson," came Tom's voice over a secure channel. "I've been monitoring Devourer communications. I think I understand their language." "What are they saying?" Thompson asked from the bridge of her flagship. "They're afraid, terrified. They keep saying the darkness follows and nowhere left to run. Admiral, I don't think they want to destroy us. I think they feel they have no choice." Thompson made a decision that would have seemed insane to any other military leader. She ordered the entire fleet to stand down. "All ships, cease fire and withdraw to defensive positions. Do not engage unless directly attacked." "First speaker," Warlord Grath growled over the comm. "Have you lost your mind? They'll destroy us all." "Trust me," Thompson replied. "One more day. Give me one more day." That night, as the fleets faced each other across the darkness of space, something unprecedented happened. A single human shuttle launched from the Alliance fleet and flew directly toward the Devourer command ship. Thompson was piloting it herself. "First speaker, what are you doing?" General Hayes's voice was frantic. "What humans do best," she replied calmly. "I'm going to talk to them." The shuttle was immediately surrounded by Devourer fighters, but they didn't fire. Something about the small craft's approach, alone, unarmed, broadcasting peaceful intentions, gave them pause. Thompson docked with the massive alien vessel and stepped inside. What she found there broke her heart. The Devourers were indeed refugees. Their galaxy had been consumed by something they called the Void, a spreading darkness that didn't just destroy planets, but erased them from existence entirely. The beings she faced were the last survivors of 1 trillion souls. They were dying. Their ships were failing. Their people were sick with despair. They had been running for centuries, consuming resources from empty worlds to keep their fleet alive. When they discovered this galaxy, they saw only one choice: destroy all other life before it could threaten their survival. But looking at Thompson, seeing the compassion in her eyes despite everything they had done, their leader, an ancient being called the Keeper, began to weep. "You should hate us," the Keeper said through Tom's translation. "We have murdered your people, destroyed your worlds. We're angry," Thompson admitted, "and we grieve for our dead. But hatred? Hatred is what brought us here. Your hatred of the void. The Dominion's hatred of freedom. Hatred solves nothing." She stepped forward, ignoring the weapons trained on her. "You're not destroyers. You're survivors. And survivors help each other." What Thompson proposed next shocked both fleets. Instead of continuing the battle, she offered the Devourers something they had never expected: sanctuary. Empty worlds in Alliance space where they could rebuild. Technology to heal their failing ships. Most importantly, hope for a future that didn't require the death of others. "In return," she said, "we ask for your knowledge, your technology, your help in building a galaxy where no one has to face extinction alone." The Keeper stared at her in disbelief. "After what we have done, you would trust us?" "Trust is earned," Thompson replied. "But everyone deserves a chance to earn it." The final day of the Battle of Kronos saw no fighting at all. Instead, it saw something beautiful: enemies becoming allies. Devourer medical ships, originally designed to harvest resources from dead worlds, were converted to heal Alliance wounded. Their massive vessels became mobile cities, offering refugee populations, homes among the stars. Their advanced technology, combined with human innovation and Alliance cooperation, began solving problems that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. Tom, who had spent 3 days as translator between species, made the final broadcast to the galaxy. "People of the stars, this is Earth speaking one more time. Today we learned that even our enemies can become our greatest allies. The Devourers have shared their story, and we have shared our hope. Together, we will face whatever comes next." The galaxy was forever changed. The Alliance grew stronger, not through conquest, but through compassion. New technologies emerged from the combination of 1,000 different sciences. Art and culture flourished as species learned from each other. And at the center of it all, humanity continued to do what it did best: bringing people together, healing what was broken, and proving that even in the darkest void of space, there was always room for hope. The rescued human had indeed returned to save the world, not just his own, but everyone's.